makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part.
It's been barely a week since it was announced to much fanfare on Barry Weiss's Substack, but the University of Austin UATX has suffered its first scandal, and I'm sure many are to follow. I made a video of the University of Austin a couple of days ago. This is basically the University of the intellectual dark web and all these other kind of alt-light uh, reactionaries who are claimed to be free speech fundamentalists who just want to ask questions that woke academia doesn't want to discuss, like I don't know, race and IQ, for example. I don't know. Anyway, Steven Pinker, my bête noire, renounced from the board of advisors along with the University of Chicago's Robert Zimmer, and I'm gonna show you their resignation tweets and letters. And obviously, one can only suspect what the real issues were for this. But yeah, here is Steven Pinker, who only tweeted this: by mutual and amicable agreement, I'm stepping off the board of advisors of U of Austin, wishing them well. I'm concentrating on rationality, the book, and Think with Pinker, BBC radio and podcast series, and won't be speaking on this further. I find it very ironic that Steven Pinker, this again, free speech, anti woke uh, crusader, doesn't allow replies on his Twitter. Suspicious. But anyway, let's move on to Robert Zimmer. I was asked to serve in an advisory role to the University of Austin by its founding president, Dr. Pano Canelos. This board had no fiduciary oversight or management responsibilities. While the new organization's commitment to a liberal arts education and free expression reflects topics that are very important to me, I resigned from the advisory board on November 11th, noting that the new university made a number of statements about higher education in general, largely quite critical, that diverged very significantly from my own views. My focus and commitment have been and will continue to be the University of Chicago. I will continue to work and speak about the issue of free expression on campuses, and I wish the University of Austin success in advancing this essential priority. I wonder what he could have meant by, the statements about higher education. Perhaps we might get a hint of that from Barry Weiss's Substack and this post by Pano Canelos, which literally started the very first sentence. So much is broken in America, but higher education might be the most fractured institution of all. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I don't care what your critique of higher education is. You cannot say with any seriousness that that is the number one problem affecting the United States today. You just can't. This is just unbelievable, especially being a country where so many thousands of people from all around the world go to study. But yeah, there you go. Now let's look at the statement that the university made, which was posted yesterday. The University of Austin is just 1 week old and has thus far succeeded in generating huge public interest. Yet, as is often the case with fast-moving startups, there were some missteps. I love how they call themselves a startup because they have this whole kind of tech bro vibe to it as well. So it's sort of a merging between intellectual dark web types and kind of tech bro funding, right wing tech. Well, they're all right wing, goes without saying. In particular, our website initially failed to make clear the distinction between the founding trustees and the advisory board. Although we moved swiftly to correct this mistake, it conflated advisors who were aligned in general with the project, but not necessarily in agreement with all of its actions and statements, and those who had originated the project and bear responsibility for these things. This led to unnecessary complications for several members of the advisory board, including Robert Zimmer and Steven Pinker, for which we are deeply sorry. We fully understand their decisions to step down as advisors. Yeah, the advisory board was never intended to be a corporate body that endorsed everything, yada, 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 yada. This is all just yeah. That is true. When I made the my video of it, and you can go back and see it, the trustees and the advisors were all on the main page. Um, and now they've changed the website, and now they have two separate links for the founding trustees and the board of advisors. I still think that there's not much difference, because the board of advisors is what gives this institution its legitimacy. And it's kind of, these are the people who are going to shape the intellectual um, program that this university has. So, even though they don't have a say on what the institution does, uh, I do think they are to some extent contributing to its image. But yeah, I just find it really hilarious that literally 1 week and it already has a scandal. 1 week. I said it in my previous video. This is gonna fail. This is gonna fail. I would put money into this. It will fail. Because it's a friggin' grift. This is what it is. It's a grift. It is these people who can this is the irony. This is the irony for people who love to promote this idea of the marketplace of ideas. These are people who basically are incapable of pushing these ideas without making them seem as the reactionaries that they are, that they need a safe space to do it. That's really what this university is. It's a safe space for these people. Because according to their very own logic, this intellectual, this marketplace of ideas that they always seem to promote, well, if they're losing in the marketplace of ideas that already exist in higher academia, then just give up. I'm sorry, the wokes have won. If that's really the issue here. Now, yeah, I still think this is just not a serious institution. And, what do you stand for? In a word, truth. Fearless pursuit of truth. That has been the grift of all these people all this time. That they want to talk about issues. Curiously, all of them have a right-wing bent to them, these ideas, that no one wants to discuss. And I will repeat it to its critics, because I'm sure this video is going to attract all these nutters who love these clowns. Why don't they ever complain about economics being right-wing? Why don't they ever do that? If they complain that the humanities is too left-wing, too woke, too socialist, why is economics the single most important career in universities in terms of its influence on policy? Why are they not criticizing economics? Why don't they have a single socialist in their board of advisors? They don't. So this is just BS. It's just utter BS. Yeah, like, the university have any political or religious affiliations? No, the university will be fiercely independent in all matters. Well, they have libertarians, they have, right-wingers. Where's the socialists? They don't. And they will never be part of this project. I can absolutely guarantee you. So, yeah. Well, I love this bit. Like, why Austin? If it's good enough for Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, it's good enough for us. Is it a coincidence that the people who follow these clowns are also tend to be fanboys of Elon Musk and Joe Rogan? No, not at all. They're basically showing their true colors with this statement. But yeah. Anyway, on the link to the board of advisors, Pinker is no longer in it, nor is Zimmer. So there you go. That is yeah, this is going to be a soap opera, I suspect. I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot of videos about the University of Austin and its recurrent, as I suspect, scandals. On that note, if you like this video, please like, please share, please subscribe. And the previous video that I made on the University of Austin got a lot of negative comments, which I don't care at all about. But there were a few people that I suspected that they were, like, actually considering this as a place of study. And I would say, just don't. Please, please. Don't. This is not a real university. It's not been accredited. It doesn't have courses. Um, this is just pointless. Please, 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 please. If you're still looking for a place to educate yourself, there are so many good options. This idea that every university in the United States is just like daily campus protest by pink-haired feminists is just not true. Okay, and especially if you're going to study, things that aren't really, majors that aren't really that political, like engineering or whatever. This is not the experience of the majority of people on campus. So yeah, please, please, please don't buy into this BS. Get yourself a damn good education, and do good in life. So that's my advice. On that note, see you next time.